Hey guys, it's Jessie and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video and another palette update. So if you guys saw my last update, you know it wasn't all too long ago. I only posted it about midway through May-ish, so we don't have tons and tons of progress today. It's more of a kind of like, not a filler update, but like you're starting to see lots of progress on the palettes, and like progress that like by next month will be pretty good. I think this is like a bit of like a setup update for what's to come, which is, I think, very promising things, especially on one of these palettes in particular. One of them, I don't know if we're gonna get any pans, but the other one, I think we're doing pretty well. So if you guys are unaware, Pan That Palette is basically a series that I do and many other panners do, where you basically focus on one or two eyeshadow palettes or other palettes in your collection, and you try to hit pan and finish up as many shades as possible. So I've been working on firstly the Beauty Bay Golden Age palette for the entire year. I was away for about a month in April and March, so it's about 5 months-ish worth of progress for me, and I don't wear makeup every day. I don't necessarily wear these shades every time I do wear makeup, so it's not like just using these palettes, but I do think I have got some good progress. Then I rolled in the Lime Crime Prelude palette in March, I believe, was the first time I tracked this. So this has got 2 months of use on, considering I was away, and yes, the goal is to use up the shades in here and to hit pan on the shades in here. So I will first start out with chatting about the one with the least progress, and that is the Lime Crime Prelude palette. This definitely falls to the wayside for me, and I definitely need to focus on using it up a bit more. Again, remember that this is about 2 weeks worth of progress rather than the full month. Next month we will obviously have a full month. So I'll put in the progress pictures here. As you can see, this is where we are at with the palette now. So I mean, to be deathly honest, you can't really see all too much progress, but I will just run through the shades. So my goal was, I believe, to use every shade once. I have used every shade besides Storm. This is like a kind of satiny, like just about shimmer shade really. Like it's really not got all too much shine on it, so I do struggle to use that one a little bit because I don't really do many dark eye looks that often, so we are struggling on that one. But we have used the shade Aphrodisia once, the shade Virgin 3 times, the shade Flesh twice, haven't used Storm, used Nude 6 times, used 1484 once, used Abyss once, and used Immortal once. So overall total use in the project, we've used Aphrodisia 4 times, we've used Virgin 7 times, we've used Flesh 8 times, haven't used Storm as I mentioned, used Nude 20 times, used 1484 twice, used Abyss twice, and used Immortal twice. So again, I'm really hoping to focus a bit more on this palette the second half of the year. Unfortunately, I just have been letting it slip by the wayside, which is a shame because I do like the looks I create. So I mean, you can see some progress. I think definitely Virgin Flesh and Abyss and 1484 have some more brush marks in there, if you can see. And then there is a bit of a dip starting to form in this shade Nude here. This is definitely my most used. I do really like using it in my like everyday eye look. So I don't know how well you can see, but there's definitely a dip forming there. So that is the progress on this palette. For next month, I definitely would just like to see some more usage in here. Again, I want to use everything once. I want to find a way to use Storm, and I want to use 1484 at least 3 or 4 times, I think, and then continue the use on everything else. I definitely think I could use Immortal a little bit more in the waterline. That's what I used it for today, and that's why I've used it for both times I used it in this project. But yeah, I mean, 2 months of use and some of these shades have only been used none or twice is not very good, so definitely need to work on that one a little bit more. And then we have my baby, which is my main panning palette, I guess. So we've definitely had more use on this one this month, and it's probably been one of our better months in terms of usage. So I'll pop in a progress picture here. Again, you can definitely see some more visible progress in here. The shade I'm most impressed with is Precious. As you can see, we've definitely expanded that pan massively, completely taken out this side here, and now I'm working on this bottom corner. And then I think there's also a little bit more progress up here. I think that was just from me clearing out the hard pan, which I did on some of these shades, and that has made them a little bit easier to use. I can also see a much bigger pan in Glamour. I'm definitely starting to clear out this corner here, and then some just usage marks, definitely sensing a bit more of a dip in Millionaire. I think that's the next shade I'm going to be working on. Again, I don't know how well you can see, but there's definitely some good dips forming in here actually, so I'm very pleased with that. Running through the usage, we used the shade Gleam once, I used the shade Precious 8 times, I used Gilded once, I used Rush 11 times, I used Bijou twice, and I used Roaring 8 times. I used Millionaire 3 times, used Glamour 6 times, and Glitz twice. So as you can see, that's only 2 weeks of usage, so I'm pretty pleased with that, to be honest. Total uses for the project, we have 4, 56, 4, 49, 4 again, 55, 7, 50 and 5. So you can definitely tell I'm reaching for the mattes a lot more than the shimmers. I went through a phase of a good few months where I just wasn't really wearing any shimmer shades at all. It was pretty much just mattes in the crease, and that's all I would do for my makeup. So that is why we have significant more progress on the other shades. But I definitely think in recent weeks I've been much more going back to my kind of like traditional like neutral shimmers. Like this look here I really love, and this is kind of what I've been wearing on the daily. And I definitely think over the summer I will be wearing more colourful makeup, but I will also be wearing more makeup in general, so definitely should get some decent progress hopefully on both of these palettes. This is actually the last update that I'm filming in my uni room. Very sad because I leave uni mid-June, so again, as I said before, going to be much more creative with the makeup, which is great. Hopefully will lead to some more progress on these palettes. And I think goals for next month, as I mentioned, I wanted to use every shade in here. Did I say twice? I can't remember, but I want to create a visible dip on Nude here, and a bit more of one on 1484, and then yeah, continue to use the shades. Definitely get more usage than normal. I'm saying at least 3 or 4 uses on each shade, I think. And then for this one, I want to clear out this bottom corner here, definitely expand the pan in all of the matte shades. As I mentioned last time, Rush is starting to get like a second dip in there from where I put in my eyebrow brush. I don't know if you can see on this hand side. So potentially I want to hit pan again in there, and then I think hit pan in Millionaire as well. That's the shade I'm using the most at the moment. I like to blend it with these two, the shade Bijou and Gilded, to create more of like a less dark, and kind of put it in the inner part of my eye, because these two are a little bit dark for all over the lid for me. So that's probably the look I'm gonna go with, try and get as much use on Millionaire and hit pan on that. And then yeah, hopefully we can get some really good progress for next month. But overall I'm really pleased with the progress on this palette. You're definitely starting to see some more visible movement, and I definitely think the coming months we will see a much more visible change, which is super duper exciting. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys did enjoy this update. If you did, don't forget to give it a like down below, hit subscribe, turn on the bell to join a little club, and make sure you turn on all notifications, then you'll be notified every single time I post a new video. If you're not watching my other videos, there will be 2 on the screen now to pick from, as well as a load linked up in the cards from earlier. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!